What's up, y'all? It's Wrist Flex, and welcome back to the channel. Today is Friday, June 14th, 2024. We have a very special guest on the show with us today, Patty Greer. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. What's up, y'all? I gotta try it on.
So, Patty Greer is the top researcher. Everybody that has been like researching for a long time knows Patty's work. She's created films and documentaries on subjects that are censored mostly from mainstream outlets, and you are wanted by people that put out fake news, and we are surprised that you are still alive based
Ouch.
off of the stuff that you've put out.
Uh,
So, we partially owe it to the C60 Evo. We partially owe it to luck. But we want to hear some news that you have coming out of Colorado.
ugh. It's thank you. It seems like everybody I bump into that I talk to longer than, hey, nice to see you. Bye. Today the guy came to work on my air conditioner and he nailed it. But right as he was leaving, I said, I know you're a patriot. What do you know that I don't? Friggin' floored me. He just floored me for like 20 minutes. He's standing there at the door with his arms folded. And I thought I knew a lot, but there are patriots that are really, digging their heels in.
I am shocked sometimes, like when I meet people out and they tell me stuff that I never knew before, and then I look it up and I'm like, how did I not know that? Like that's why I love like reading the comment section of my videos and like interacting with audiences like this because people know a lot. Like
Yeah.
every little individual brain does their own research, and when it all comes together, it's just mind blowing
Well,
and validating.
your chat is alive and well because your people love you, they trust you, and they know that your research, I don't know where you're doing it. I loved your show yesterday. You said, I've got a heaping mound of books over here. That's how I'm doing it. I actually watch your shows, and I don't watch a lot of the shows that I used to because I think a lot of them are agents, they're paid. And so today I interviewed somebody new, and she said, well, the reason I don't have a big numbers, is because I'm not willing to pay for them. And I said, wait, wait, wait. Are you telling me that most of the people that I don't trust with huge numbers are buying them? And she said, absolutely, or their handlers are. Now, I know this is old news to you, but as I'm looking at a lot of the people that I won't name, some of them I might have used to listen to, but these big numbers, I'm like, wow, they say they have 500,000 subscribers, but why does their show only have 1,200 views after 2 weeks? So it's all inflated. You can buy likes on Amazon. We have what's called competition, not really in the C60 world, which is industrial grade. We make ESS 60, but the C60 world is so full of these con jobs. And they make claims about stuff that our product was used for on these peer reviewed tests. And I'm really proud that my partners are the ones that supplied all the product for the Nobel Prize that we won in 1996. And a lot of people would say, Nobel Prize, come on, Obama gave it to Bill Gates or whatever, which is true. But it didn't used to be compromised in 1996. We actually had integrity back then with these entities like the Nobel Prize Society. They actually were integral, like so many things were. But, I mean, tonight I'm wearing something that I kind of cracked up. I used to go and buy Native American jewelry in Santo Domingo, Pueblo. I mean, before you were born. But I'm wearing a Hishi necklace, and I'm thinking, wow, Hishi, what a difference it means today. you know, it's like
Oh,
everything is so confusing now because what's true isn't. And when this guy was standing at my door, I said, okay, lay it on me. And he started talking about the fentanyl problem, which is so shocking. He said Colorado is one of the leading places, and the entire Mexican cartel has taken over that Colorado mountain where all of the stuff is underground. That's our military. What's that called?
what?
Yeah,
Hold
yeah,
up. Hold
yeah.
up.
He said it's all Mexican cartel in there
Cheyenne
now.
Mountain?
Cheyenne Mountain, he said it's a mess. It is completely overtaken by Mexican cartel. And he said the fentanyl that's in our area right now, these guys don't even mix it. And that's why his friend died recently, because he was in a group of people. They thought they were snorting Coke. And the Coke now is laced with fentanyl. If you're not clever enough to, I don't know where you'd buy it that's
Test it.
safe.
Just
Yeah.
test it.
Well, yeah, I mean, God, great people are going around with their test kits, but maybe a better idea is to find a different thing that isn't being played with. Like, I never liked Coke. It kind of ruined my marriage years ago for somebody else. I never liked it, but a lot of people still do. And you are running such a massive risk. But for Cheyenne Mountain, to not even have real scientists in there anymore, it's completely overtaken, he said, by Mexican drug cartel.
I remember like one of the top global kingpins for the Mexican, like one of the largest Mexican cartels. He got arrested and he was jailed in Colorado, in one of their largest jails. So that's why I'm not surprised that you say that. Like I'm thinking maybe they just moved their whole operation there because their kingpin is in their jail there. I interviewed a guy that worked for the NSA after he was in jail, and he was explaining how the kingpins still run the operations from inside of the jail, and they literally have like drones that will like drop drugs into the jails and like lift things out and stuff. And like there's literally, it's not even like it's a what we think it is. Like jail is not what we think it is. It's accessible to the outside world if you're in the right circles. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of confusion going on right now. And I think one of the biggest confusing issues is Nasara Jasara, the currency reset. I don't know if you've looked into that very much, but I had a friend 10, 12 years ago when it was first coming out that we were going to have this massive currency reset. So the Zimbabwe Zim, those bills say $100 million, but they're only $80. So it was said that someday we're going to have a currency reset, Nasara Jasara, which is global. Nasara is national. But they're coming back now, really talking about it at these freedom events. And I'm not going to those events because I think there's too many people pulling legs. But 10, 12 years ago, I bought a bunch of Zimbabwe Zim, Vietnamese Dong, different currencies because we were told that we were going to be made extremely rich and be able to do all these humanitarian projects. And I was working with a female who just went public with the fact that there is a secret government right now that is the interim government, they're saying, that's bringing us this Jasara global currency reset. Now, I don't know if it's true, but I find it very fascinating that it's now the big subject at these events. And I will say that I was working with Stephanie and this guy, Sam. And Sam claimed that he was one of the top people that was working between the spiritual community and the Fed. And all of a sudden,
What do you mean spiritual community?
Well, like the woo-woo conversations, like these freedom events, like it used to be the UFO events. So, I mean, the woo-woo communities that are talking about things that the news isn't. So it's not really woo-woo, it's just what they would consider malinformation or misinformation. We're all being banned for what we think is telling the truth. And I don't know if Nasara Jasara is true or not, but I know that 10, 12 years ago, I was deep. I was going to meetings, and then they killed Sam. Sam all of a sudden didn't answer the phone, and we drove up there, and the family was mourning, and we were like, what? So it felt to me 10 years ago like, oh, shoot, there is something really dark and heavy here, and I let it go because it felt too dangerous. But I'm kind of surprised to see it popping up now. And I know that you called me, a top researcher of things, but I am older, and I was a major documentary filmmaker. But as I look back, I look in my office and I have probably 30 huge photo albums. in the olden days, we used to take photos and print them and then stick them in books. I've got,
I have a couple of those.
okay.
I
I've got,
I remember a time in my life when everybody stopped doing it.
yeah, well, now everything's digital.
It's hard to
But
go to, it's hard to find at CVS's the ones that will print those. Remember, you used to buy, you could buy the little camera, like, and you had a certain amount of clicks on it, and when the clicks ran out, you could give it to CVS, and they would print your pictures.
oh, right, the Instacams, the instant cheap cameras, disposables.
Yeah, then you throw it out. Where'd
Yeah.
they go?
Well, I mean, even digital cameras, aside from a phone, we still have cameras. I haven't pulled mine out since I got my phone. And I used to have a movie camera. It doesn't even fit in the screen. It was like 18 inches long. It was just huge. And I would drag it into the crop circles in England, like, oh God, it was so much weight when I could have just used a cell phone, stuck it on a tripod.
Hold up. Okay, segueing to that regarding the crop circles. So, are there no crop circles anymore?
Give me a break. I know. I wrote the head of Crop Circle Connector like 2 weeks ago, and I said, are there really no crop circles? Or is the government breathing down your neck? So that I'll tell you the truth. And of course, in 2014, I stopped going because the farmers were told no more researchers in the crop circles. Keep them out, mow the fields out, or we will no longer give you your monthly stipends. So the
So, the
farmers,
government of England told the farmers that no UFO researchers or crop circle researchers were allowed to go onto the fields, and if they did, they would get punished.
that was the last time I was in England, 2014, because I was alerted to the fact that, yeah, they're being threatened. And some of the
Because
farmers
you
were
don't
saying,
hear about them anymore. Like there used to be headlines about crop circles, and you just don't see them anymore. But there's not even an acknowledgement of the fact that they just like disappeared out of the media. Like
thank
what is
you.
it about?
Thank you. Well, there was one in England noted yesterday. There was one in France last week, but not what there normally is. By now, middle of June, there should be 20 in England and 15 or 20 in
Mm.
France, if it's like the previous years. I think that the government has done the same step on as they're doing here in America. And I had two attempts to kill me over the last 7 years when I was blowing the whistle, telling the truth about crop circles, but I was winning most of the awards at the UFO events for my
Nice.
films. I won eight awards. Five of them were EBEs at the International UFO Congress, and I was just this woo-woo girl from Boulder, Colorado, thinking, "Oh, isn't this fun?" I was
Well,
totally
that's where the
green.
best researchers come out of, like just average Joes that are really passionate about wanting to get the answer.
Yeah. Well, I was green. I had no idea that I shouldn't tell the truth. And the truth was, which was really amazing, that I was the one invited to the lab, the only lab in the world that really researched crop circles for the last 20 years. And they found that the seeds are growing 4 times as much food and biofuel with almost twice the nutrition per plant. Not only that, but the plants became super seeds that would grow when weather was too hot, too cold, too wet, too dry. These plants would still grow. So when real crop circles happen and then the plant bends like this, it continues to grow and the flowers and the seeds become super seeds that will grow up to 400% more food, which is 4 times as much. And my films got squashed. Oh my God, the scientist William Levin, good God, hidden, suppressed. I didn't realize the web that I had climbed into by telling the truth and being elated by the glory of them.
Do the farmers save those seeds? Can they be reused?
They don't know the science. Like,
The
I,
farmers.
I really tried to get my films out, and it was a fist fight with all 3 distributors that were garbage. My films are cropcirclefilms.com. That's my website. But my final film that got me in all the trouble is called Crop Circle Diaries. And it won in 2017, right before I got hit with a directed energy weapon. It won Best Film and the People's Choice at the International UFO Congress Convention. So the films were really well received by smart people. but the enemies of humanity hated me, and I didn't realize the infiltration. I had no idea that it wasn't just that person that I thought hated me, it was the agency. The organization said, get this girl quiet. She knows too much. And after I got hit in 2017, after my last UFO event, I went to the airport and all of a sudden I was on the ground. My body from the waist down was like jello. So I got hit by some horrific directed energy weapon. And it's been hard to talk about it because not enough people know how real it is. And the people that hit me were experimenting. So I was like the test case for take that bitch down in ufology. She knows too much. And everybody that was surrounding me at these events got scared to death. And I didn't get sorry cards from people. They just knew that I was asked not to come to the events anymore because I knew too much. So,
Well, not only do you know too much, but you're growing a large audience, so you're becoming a threat. And I think like the best thing to do is to just keep speaking, keep going out onto other YouTube channels and just like sharing the word, because once it's out too much, there's like nothing really they can do at
oh
that
yeah,
point. At least that's like what what's his name? Jim Mars suggested to everybody that would come to him with like whistleblower type of information, like intel, and they were like scared, like I don't trust news outlets. What do I do? He would say like you just get it out. Don't like try to cherry pick on who. Just get it out and just get it out and go crazy and just as many people as you can. Spread it far and wide.
Jim Mars was one of my favorite people at those events. And
Really? Oh,
I
he went to
it
those
was.
events.
Oh no, I
I wish
love
I was
Jim.
alive. So
Yeah.
I got in contact with Jim Mars's assistant because this is because he died, and now I'm into this stuff and I'm reading his work because he's just an OG. So I contacted his wife, and then I was able to get in contact with his assistant. So she's been giving me some good intel. She doesn't want her face out into the public, but um, she's another one of my sources too. So
You might need to whisper to me after the show what her name is, and I'll tell you if she's straight up. Jim and I were very good friends, and it was funny because we'd meet at all the events, and I'd go, "Let's go into the woods," and he and I would talk. And I got him, and I got Laura Eisenhower some Zimbabwe Zim because I thought we were all going to have a much easier future and be able to help everybody we knew. So Jim got Zim, and when
you're friends with
he
Laura Eisenhower?
very close. Yeah. We've been doing shows for 10,
Can you
5,
bring her on
8.
the show?
Oh, heck yeah. In a heartbeat. She'd love it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I've referenced a lot of her work. She has a lot of good research.
I love Laura. She is very dear. And I have tried to rescue her from the UFO community a few times. But, it's all that's left. And I do want to talk about Jim and Stanton Friedman and Dr. Roger Lear and Wendell Stevens and all the greats of ufology in this beautiful little ball of love, because those were the people I interviewed. Those were the people that wrote reviews of my books. Paul Hellyer, do you know who he is?
Yeah.
Beautiful
You know
man.
him?
He gave me a great review of my book, loved it. Jacques Vallée loved it. So I was hanging with the big guys. I was
Yeah, you were.
really loving ufology. And then, boom, 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 they all died. They all died in a short period of time, and I got whacked at the airport, but I didn't die. C60 Evo to the rescue. This is the only reason I think I'm still here. And 4 years later, 3 years later, somebody came back and left uranium in my garage to try and take me out again. That was in 2019. A creepy kind of retardo guy in Boulder, Colorado. And when I was in the emergency room, 2019, two sheriff's deputies were filming me, and they got the full story of how evil and awful this person is, this man in Boulder, that they let go. They didn't even go interview him. They didn't go check the weather modification shit he's got in the attic. They didn't go and check the vault with all these AK-47s, and the guy's an
Okay, so
autistic
so
maniac.
let's back up. So the audience understands. Essentially, you were poisoned. You went to the hospital and you have documentation proving you got poisoned. The doctors have records saying you have poison in you, uranium,
It was
right?
in the
So
red zone.
so
Uranium,
right,
strontium, arsenic.
right.
Yeah,
So like you don't just ingest those willy-nilly, like you were poisoned.
I have a
There's
photo of the
there's
vial
no
that,
doubt about it. You were
no,
poisoned. So now who did it? And then now the police are refusing to go after this person that you
yeah.
have evidence to believe could be the person. So and he's connected in the area.
I didn't realize that the guy that he bought all the rifles from was military, that he had such connections that he could avoid getting taken in for what he did to me. He did it to another woman in Boulder, I'm pretty sure, and she died. So I do know too much. I think that's why they tried to get rid of me, but it doesn't help bad people to try and get rid of good people because I think God wins every time, or I got
Yeah.
real lucky.
It
But
seems like they always do like end up getting exposed somehow. Like you can't really like there's always some sort of endpoint to evil at some
yeah.
point. Like
Well, once in a while in the mornings on Facebook, I actually said who he was. I didn't say his name because I won't do that because, bad people make you sign an NDA in the emergency room. Like, really, it, but for me, people have said, why don't you get a lawyer? Well, I had a lawyer and I got rid of him. But I was in business with him for a few minutes and, I took him from being a very poor person his entire life to making a lot of money. And I think that's what happened was all of a sudden, first time in his life, he had a lot of money. And he wanted to take me out so he wouldn't have to be a 50% partner. And
that's what
when
Joey
I
B did with
realized
all their partners.
when I realized what a skank he was, I called my lawyer and I said, "Get me out. I will walk." He said, "You're going to give up all that partnership?" And I said, "Are you kidding?" Yeah, it's not worth anything. And then I went and looked at who's making this amazing product. And it was the two guys that won the Nobel Prize. They didn't win it, but they delivered the raw material for the Nobel Prize in 1996. These are the real guys making carbon 60. And it's only two guys in the world that have been at it for 33 years with integrity. And our lab is in Texas. The stuff we make is so good, and I'm still here. So I do hear a lot of testimonials from people that are blown away. I am a walking testimonial because I'm still alive.
Yeah, it's scary. Like everything you went through and how you're still here.
I'm
It
better
makes
than
me
ever.
scared to like just to talk to you. Like you're in like dangerous circles.
No, no, no.
Like people want you out.
That was years ago. I'm harmless now. And they don't talk about me anymore because I left the field.
Yeah,
You
but
could
still, if you know too much at some point, I don't
Doesn't
know.
matter. I'm not going to name them. It's bygones, and I do believe in the karma bus, and I do believe that I've been given the opportunity to move forward. And uranium guy, you know, whatever. I'm not going to worry about it because I'm here, and I'm having a great life now. I just got both hips replaced because of what happened to me. But the most amazing thing is my recovery from two hip replacements in the last 6 months. I'm on frickin' fire. Just bought a camper. I'm like ready to get back to life for all these years where I've been laying low, kind of hiding out from evil, and living in Boulder, Colorado, which is run by the scum of all scum. They just
I can't
decided
believe that.
again. Oh, you're not going to believe this. A year ago, November 5th, a helicopter flew over and sprayed Monsanto poison from a helicopter all in the foothills. And all the kids got sick. All the lakes and ponds and streams, fish were floating on the top, birds were dead upside down. And we've been fighting it ever since. But the city council members voted for it against 81% of the people of Boulder, Colorado. This week, I've just thrown all hesitation aside because nobody's talking about it. I'm on like Boulder Collective, Lions Happenings, all the Front Range towns. Like, you guys need to wake up. We have the opportunity to vote these two women out. Like, I just got my ballots and now I'm an independent voter. So I actually see the Democrat ballot and I see the Republican ballot. And there's those two ladies that voted, poison us, keep poisoning. But it's not just that. I did the research. They actually created with Monsanto an agenda called Restore Colorado 22. And this is what I wish somebody would report on a lot louder. Restore Colorado 22 was 2 years ago, where the head of Boulder County Parks and Open Space, he and his daddy, who runs Monsanto, where they sell the poison to the Boulder County people, it's a daddy and son team. Monsanto and Boulder County Open Space, Parks and Open Space. So what we've got is this evil connection bringing us Monsanto. Oh, but it's not the stuff that they've reported. This is a new one called Rejuvra or Idazaflam, which is basically Roundup with a new name and a new label. So they just came back and we have fought it tooth and nail, but they said, nah, we're going to spray with drones also. So helicopters and drones will be spraying poison across the Front Range of Boulder, Colorado, because the Boulder County commissioners, who we can vote out now, I've got my ballot sitting over there, but I've never voted Democrat.
So like
there.
I was just about to look it up, like Google it, but then I remembered you literally just said nobody's reporting on this. So you're like in the meetings, you're the one, you're there voting on this stuff, talking to the people that are running the town, and this is stuff that's happening, but no one's reporting on it.
I'm actually not in the meetings. I don't want to stick my face there because I've done enough. I've said enough. I'd rather go on your show and talk about it and see if there's anybody that freaking cares about Colorado, because this man that told me about Cheyenne Mountain, he also said that Colorado Springs is like the #1 criminal place in Colorado. So here we thought it's our military town. And
that's one of the hubs that welcome.us sends people that are not documented. Don't even look up welcome.us in your search engine.
Wow. Well, Colorado's run by a bunch of really skanky people. We've got this governor, Jared Polis, who can't decide. Anyway, I shouldn't go on about she thing.
Do it. Let it rip.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've got a real estate broker said, oh, he goes to my temple. He dates women, but he brags about being a DEI, dude with dudes. And who cares? I don't care who people sleep with, but I do care that I was blocked from driving to the post office the other day because they were painting another rainbow in front of the children's library in the street, on the street, with my tax dollars. Yeah, I go to a post office because I live in the woods and we don't have mailboxes. And it's pretty cool.
They want people to hate them then. Let the people get their mail.
No. So the punchline was that I came back that way to see if somebody died or something exploded. No. The police and all the, blinking lights and the barricades were because they were painting another rainbow in the street with my tax dollars and theirs. And I posted locally, I said, how do you guys feel about your tax dollars going toward all this pride stuff? Now, personally, I have no issue with what people do in the bedroom. Absolutely none. I don't want to hear bad talk.
Me either. But if they're going to block my mailbox.
Oh, they didn't block the mailbox. They blocked the road to the post office.
Oh, even worse.
Oh, yeah.
You can't even get out.
Barricades, police with blinkers. Like, really? Is that what we do with our police?
Offensive. Yeah. What?
But see, they're not allowed to arrest uranium guy, and he's just going free. And I think he might have even poisoned his mom because he really hated her when I knew him. So I wonder if she died. I don't know. But all I know is I didn't. And I'm really glad because I am a bulldog. You said I'm top researcher. I said I'm bad bitch Patty. but I'm really one of the nicest people around. I just don't like being lied to. I don't like people destroying children's lives. So, I don't like the big P. I don't like children S. I mean, I noticed that you are one of the leading people talking about it because there's so much of it. And when I saw Louisiana said they're going to castrate, when I see they're going to do death penalty, otherwise, I don't want to keep giving them Nobel Prizes and free rent, because they're
Yeah,
hurting
getting
children.
highest order in Canada. What is that about? Getting knighted by the royal family.
I'm so embarrassed of our family, our first family. Like they just went to the G7, like can't
I
even
saw.
speak. It's such a disgrace. But again, there are people that would still vote that way and think, I love what they've done to the economy.
So they
I
voted
love
to
the,
they voted to give they voted for all these different countries, right? But they choose that America is going to be the ones to give 50 billion to Ukraine. And everybody else is just going to give a little bit of money to Ukraine. Why are the Americans the ones that are being forced to work like 365 days a year? We only get like major holidays off work. Like apparently the rest of the world, I hear even like Europe, they get like months off of paid work. Like they get months off and they get paid for it. Like the rest of the world, like at least in the rest of the Western world, like has it good. And for some reason, Americans are the ones that are like workhorses for the rest of the world, and we
yeah,
have to pay extra money to every other country. Like we don't realize it, but like we're in a routine. Like we get up, we go to work, we come back, we're just like in this like rat race for the rest of the world to just sit back and relax. It's insane.
it is. But somehow I'm feeling, now that I've passed 70 years old and survived two attempts to take me out, I feel like I'm having the best chapter of my life now. Being an owner of a company that's doing something this good for the world, supplying people like you that are super snooty about anything you put in your body other than sweets and chips and stuff. But I mean, I think that with supplements, you're very careful, very well read and researched. Our product is still in your medicine cabinet or on your kitchen counter. And I saw you put on the lip balm. Is this rockin' lip balm, the mint?
It's like it like opens my nostrils.
It
I
really,
love it.
so I guess our show is supposed to be about C60 Evo, but I'm so full of news because I watch congressional hearings and
Well, you're a top researcher, you know?
I'm sitting there watching really smart people show evidence and proof and phone calls and chat. And then I'm hearing
Mhm.
Jamie Raskin get up and go, there's no evidence. Then I hear Chuck Schumer, let's go bomb the world. There's no evidence. Why are they wasting our time? And meanwhile, our tax dollars, oh my God, are we being overtaxed? Are paying for these clowns to perform at the Congress and the Senate when really this overhaul needs to happen immediately where we get clean people in there and we get everybody on the sauce. I have
Mass
actually
arrests.
I've actually put out an offer free C60 Evo for the Congress and the Senate if they say yes. And that just means that they're all going to get on sodium pentothal because when this stuff hits the brain, it really cleans it up. And have you noticed? Let's talk about C60 Evo. Have you noticed an improvement in your focus, in your research ability?
100%. That's why I love it so much. That's why I talk about it. Like, I used to get headaches and I'd have to take breaks frequently throughout the day when I do my research. And with this, I just don't have to. I don't have the headache. So I can just keep going and going.
It's amazing. I start my day every day with a C60 Evo MCT coconut oil in my coffee. I put a tablespoon in and I usually spill a little bit more and it gets me going. It lasts the whole day. I barely need any other of the oils, but the the extra virgin olive oil, cold pressed, is actually twice as strong as the MCT. So
Mm.
this is the strongest. We have avocado oil that Roseanne Barr and Ann Vandersteel love, and they swear by avocado toast. It's great
Yeah,
on a
that's what I
salad.
do.
Yeah, but you don't want to have to lick the plate. So the best is
You
to
just
take
dip
it
the
on a
bread in it.
spoon. Yeah,
You just
right.
like
You
wipe
dip
the
the
bread in it.
bread.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the best
Sourdough.
way is on a spoon, in your mouth, direct route before noon. And the reason I say before noon is because it gives you a lot of energy all day long and you sleep
Mhm.
better at night. Some people don't listen to that recommendation and they take it like 5, 6, and then they are awake half the night. And they're like, well, it's like take it before noon. Chris, my partner, can take it at night and coffee and go right to sleep. So
Yeah, that's like how I am. I take it really just like whenever.
whenever you want it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as
Like if
long
I,
as it, yeah,
yeah,
as
like
long
if
as it
I,
doesn't wank you out, that's
because like sometimes I forget in the mornings and I have it
right.
in my bag and then I just like take it when I remember and it just
Awesome.
works. So
Most of the time we do interviews, we do a shot. We call it um, like we're having a toast. It's too late for me right now to have a toast,
I was
but
too.
you
Yeah.
Chris does it, in a lab beaker because he's in the lab. I sometimes shoot right out of the bottle, but I usually use a tablespoon. Most people do a teaspoon, but I've had to detox from uranium guy, and wow, I've had to detox from life because I just spend so much time really listening to what's going on in the world because I really care. Um, and I'm looking now at all of our influencers, and we've got quite a few of you guys. All of you guys look fabulous. Great skin, great energy. And we're still working together because you actually take the product and love it. Today I was at my chiropractor and he said, "Oh, I'm out of everything." And I'm like, good. I love it when my mom says that I'm out of everything. It's like, you're taking it.
Hmm.
But you can tell when you do because the energy is really pure. It's not like coffee buzz and then you crash. The
Yeah.
C60 Evo, it really did receive the 2012 Paris Bhakti Study Toxicity Test Award because they were testing it to see if it could kill lab rats at any level. And instead, these rats live 90% longer than the other test group, and they died without any tumors. And Wistar rats are unfortunately lab rats, but they always have tumors. The longer the life, the more tumors. These had none after taking the oil that's in your hand. This is the extra virgin cold pressed olive oil, and it's got 0.86 milligrams per milliliter, which is as strong as you're going to find on the market. We tested 22 competing, they're not really competing products, but we tested them and they had 10 to 30% of what their label said. Really
Mm,
disappointing. So,
that's
yeah, that's our
backwards.
lip balm, which my partners were like, when I came back to them and I said, okay, every time I take a swig of this, I take this, I wipe it on my face, the spoon, and now my skin is really clearing. Let's make a facial serum. My partners were like, we're a bunch of guys, we're not doing face serum. Then we did 2 different face serums and the lip balm. And my partner looks like he's could get carded and he just turned 55. He's got a mohawk, but his skin is gorgeous. And Roseanne Barr, her skin is gorgeous for 70. She takes our product. I wish I could say the other famous people, but if they don't represent us, I can't. But we've got a lot of big players that are taking Evo, and our sales yesterday were Israel and Switzerland. I mean, we're just getting
Nice.
out around the world. You're loving on
Nice.
the mint lip balm. I can
I
still
love it.
taste it.
I go through a lot of chapstick, and this is by far my favorite.
Well, you let me know when you need more, and I'll double you up.
I
Yeah,
have like 7 right now.
oh, good.
I don't want to run out.
That's the way to do it. Well, there are a lot of supplements on the market. I've got a pile of them in the kitchen. Each one is 28 to $75 a bottle. And how long do you really run them? How much do you really believe in them? I don't think I've taken my little stacks of subs for weeks, but the Evo, every day, absolutely every day. And because I just lived through 2 complete hip replacements, I'm on fire. It's like I should be recovering slowly. And a lot of people go through a lot of pain. I don't. I didn't. And my friends that are seeing me, like even going to the post office, I'm like, do you remember when I couldn't walk very well? Oh yeah, you were with the sticks. I used trekking poles, and I pretend, yeah, I just got back from the Himalayas. I'm not old and wounded. I was teasing, but now it's like everybody sees me. I'm cooking. I'm absolutely uh, unaffected by all that I went through. And no, I don't feel like my life's in danger. I don't feel like my family, my friends are in danger. But a lot of friends bailed because they were scared by what I had to tolerate. These people hit my Amazon, Vimeo, YouTube. I mean, they just tried to clean me out and hide my films because it's kind of one of those technologies that they've been hiding, like free energy, like water engines, cars.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
what we have here is the technology to be able to bring the food supply back. And we re engineered in the lab of William Levengood a machine that can create crop circle frequencies. So if we could just get farmers and scientists to work together, the machine is really simple. It's a charge density plasma machine set at 30. I don't know 30 what, but I took a photo of it in the lab, and I know that they recreated the technology that makes crop circles. And again, my films told the truth about the technology, which is crop circles are not coming from the sky, they're coming out of the earth in spinning plasma fields. It's really amazing. And I have three different crop circle films that showed balls of light moving slowly around a field, and the field goes down in seconds. But nobody knew what those balls of light were until my final film. And what they are, if your audience wants to know, is crop circles are coming out of the earth in counter-rotating vortices of spinning plasma fields, and they have distinct boundary conditions that create the image that's left in the field. Now, the image is already designed. It'll be a thunderbird or a hat, or I mean, not a hat, but like a Native American sacred hat with all the messages inside, but it's already predetermined. So these vortices come out of their spinning plasma, and when they hit the exact frequency that they need to create that image, at the base of the spinning vortex of plasma, the human eye will see a ball of light. And that's what you see in my films, is a ball of light moving slowly around a field, but you don't see the spinning vortex of energy fields. So it's really remarkable that nobody's shared this with the public until me. And then they tried to take me out because of it. So I don't talk about crop circles as much as I used to, but the fact that there's supposedly only one in England this year so far, BS, I'm calling it. And I tried to reach a few of my friends over there, and interestingly enough, they're not replying. So I think that the government's really stomped on it, kind of like, our government has stomped on us telling the truth on social media. Good God, the unbelievable. But again, that's today. If people knew what I went through 10 years ago, 8 years, 7 years, unbelievable. They went into my $4 rental on Vimeo and changed the price to $650 to rent one of my films, just to make sure nobody'd rent them.
Well, I think that what you're telling the world is sort of challenging what modern science already is. Like, it just totally changes everything that we already are being taught. Like, every textbook is going to have to be like rewritten. Like, it just, you know what I mean?
Imagine in a few years when it all comes out and you and I are like normal people, but we're going to be the teachers of the new paradigm, because all the people that believed that we had a government that ran, that worked, or a Fed that gave a shit, excuse my language. I mean, Janet Yellen, what a joke. I just,
There's going to be a meme. The year's 2070 when Patty Greer and Risk Flex are president and VP. That'll be the
If
day.
I take the Evo, I'll still be here in 2070 because if lifespan is really increased, they say up to 90%. You know, I didn't really want to last that much longer when I couldn't walk very well. But I will say that the C60 Evo that I was taking um, made it so that I got 2 more years on my hips. And now I want to talk to your audience who's going through pain, joint pain, like shoulders, elbows, knees, hips, ankles. Oh my God, so many people are dealing with really bad pain. When I went to the first surgeon, I interviewed doctors before I picked the doctor to do my hips, and I got the greatest doctor. But the first two looked at me and they were just like, "You're not normal. How could you possibly have walked on these bone on bone hips the last few years? Clearly, you've done worse than bone on bone." I was grinding. Anyway, it was bad, my x rays. And then the second doctor brought in two other doctors with him, and they were really examining my replies. And I'm like, "Listen, I'm here to interview you. Why are there three doctors watching my face move?" And they said, "We've never seen anyone like you." And I said, "What does that mean?" And they said, "You're not a drug addict." And I went, "Okay, you're right." "And you're not mentally ill." And I was like, "Bingo." And they said, "You're fully cognizant. And you've been bone on bone for how many years? It's not humanly possible." And I said, "Yeah, it is. I sell a product." And I'm just telling your audience, anybody that's got hips, bones, achy joints, try this. You'll get a few more years before you got to go through surgery if you're lucky like me. But I mean, really, when they looked at my x rays, every doctor was just like completely stunned. They just couldn't believe it. My chiro, who's known me 30 years, said 4 years ago, "You got to get your hips replaced." And I was like, "No, no," because I didn't trust the medical system. I don't trust hospitals. So I found a non hospital surgeon who was an absolute hero. And I'm back. I'm better. But it was really an interesting process to realize that I got years more than most people because of the C60 Evo. Highly recommended to people with joint problems. Highly recommended to people who drink too much because it's a hangover helper. But somebody commented, "Well, is it for people that don't drink?" I'm like, I just mentioned it because some people do. But when they take Evo, even at night, they wake up without a hangover. So there's all these things that it fixes, but we have to be mindful not to say it because we don't want to be shut down. Now, the fact that those rats died with no tumors, wow, really impressive. It is a coincidence that we sell to 5 big C clinics. I just did a Trump, like with the hands, you're
Yeah.
talking like this. No,
Yeah,
I,
sometimes I do them too.
not that there's anything wrong with that. But this guy today that was at my door for a half hour, he said, "No way they're going to let Trump win." Now, that made me a little sick because that they even will have control in November of all this. But somebody said to me yesterday in Colorado, the Democrat and the Republicans in Colorado, the Democrat ballots were bigger and fit the machines, and the Republican ballots didn't. So all of those that went in Colorado in 2020, the ballots were smaller. So I just said, "My God, I've got both of them here in my house," and I measured them, and they're identical. But he was talking 2020. He said that's how Colorado screwed the voters, was that they did a different size. We know about the watermarks. I mean, that we're still even arresting J6 people that were visiting DC, maybe shopping for new pants or something, like that they're arresting a 73-year-old woman instead of Paul Pelosi, whose video just came out this morning. Like, yeah, but
What
I live
video
in
just came
Cal.
out this morning?
What did?
What video?
Oh, Paul Pelosi's actual cam, the cop cam footage that was on the cop cars. I watched it on Jesse Walters this morning. Jesse
Mm.
Waters. But I mean, it's like all the evidence for everything is out. It's just we're being so bombarded with confusion. And we're also being so quickly poisoned, like the Boulder City Council, that they're choosing to continue poisoning and adding drones. It's just insane. And that the people are going to still vote for them is even more insane. It's one thing to have bad people, but to keep them in, that's where I have an issue. And I can only be so loud. And I am a little loud on social media once in a while. Um, Once in a while, I mention Uranium Guy and that he's in my industry, you know? So what? But hopefully somebody will take care of him. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna sue because why sue MK Ultra people? You're not gonna win. You know, our courts are sewn up. Our sheriffs and cop departments in Colorado are sewn up. So nobody's reporting anything anymore that's got a brain because you'll be the one to get in trouble. Everybody I know is packing. My tall, slim friend, I was like, you are not. And she pulled this teeny 22 out of her front pocket. I was like, oh, awesome. I respect you more. So,
Stay strapped.
cocked and locked and ready to rock. We got to be smart, but I think more than anything is we got to keep our brain balanced. And that's where this product comes in handy. And I keep going back to Evo because it is what brought you and I together. Today we're hitting news because there's just too much of it. But I want to go back to Evo for a minute because Bobby Kennedy Jr. also got a couple of care packages from me. And I think his voice might be getting better. People that travel, like Bobby, need the capsules instead of the
Hold
oil.
up. RFK,
Junior,
he's taking Evo now?
I don't know if he's taken it, but I know I've sent 3 care packages. And very interesting because my friend tours with him and books his conferences and gigs. He said that the first package, they didn't really know if he opened because everything that I send to him has to be blessed in a Catholic church before he will receive it. Is it Catholic? In a church. And so the next 2 packages, the what I was told was if you want him to open it, we have to have it blessed in a church. And I said, go for it. Thank you.
What?
So they did. And then my products went
Wait,
to him.
RFK Jr. gets all of his mail blessed in a church before he opens it?
I didn't say all of his mail. I said this package that I sent of C60 Evo needed to be blessed in a church before they would open it. My products. I don't know about mail or other people. I only know that he's gotten 3 packages and he opened the last 2 because they were blessed.
Was that
That's
his
all I know.
request?
Huh?
That was his request?
Yes. Yes. And I was lucky because I know the same people he does. I have a good friend who's touring with him. So that's how I knew to do it right. And, you know, it's like, okay, we'll do whatever. For me, I want to see his voice clear up. And if Evo can do it, that would be a miracle. I'd love to get it, like I said, to the Congress and the Senate, like sodium pentothal, get their frickin' brains centered. But
What's wrong with his voice?
I don't really know. I know a lot of people have researched. I don't even want to guess. I just know that he's had a very hard to understand voice for years. And every now and then I hear him sound more clear, and I'm like, I hope it's the Evo. So, you know, pretty much with everyone I send it to, the facial serum, this stuff. That now, do you use this?
Yeah, so like I do a lot. I have like a really in-depth skincare routine and I incorporate it in at like the section. So, there's a regimen I do, like layering serums, and I put this on with the oils because some products I use dry out my skin, and this one will like will prevent any cracking of my skin barrier like immediately. So, yeah.
I designed this with one of the most woo-woo Boulder spiritual. She's a naturopath. She takes people on hikes in the forest. She's written 23 books on raw foods. Brigitte Mars and I designed the facial serum. Brigitte Mars, Marrs, absolutely brilliant in nature.
I don't know if you knew me before I started talking about news on this channel, but I actually talked about like raw food first.
Oh, Well, her books are Raw is the Law and
I'm very
Rawsome.
familiar.
Yeah.
I'm not, I mean, I'm not specifically familiar with her, but like I know a lot about like the raw food community.
Well, she and I have known each other forever, and she and I designed this facial serum. But when I saw her at 70 years old, and I've known her forever, her skin looks amazing now. And I said, "What are you doing?" She said, "Chia seed oil on her face." And that was the first thing I wrote down. And I had hired her to do this formula with me. And so it is remarkable, this facial serum, all natural. You can lick it and you can smell it. It's as good as the lip balm because it smells like rosemary. And a lot of people, we've had the joke, hashtag smell my face, because my best friend's husband, she claws into bed. She goes, "Baby, smell my face." And he goes, "What?" And it's their joke now, "Baby, smell my face," because he smelled
The
it and he was
smell of
like,
it.
"Oh my God," and so it's like it can be an arousal, to go to bed smelling like rosemary, but it really supposedly, Brigitte said, takes your dreams into a higher state, a higher frequency of consciousness, rosemary oil at night. So for many reasons, our products are multidimensionally effective, highly beneficial
Interesting.
physically. You can notice better skin, stronger fingernails, great lips because we got the lip balm. But it even fixed Michael Jacob's broken toe nail that when he was 6 years old, a crab bit his toe and not bit it, grabbed onto it, and his toenail went like this. And so his big toe has had this toenail that went like this for 60 years. He did Evo for, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 years. He said, all of a sudden my toenail flattened out and now it looks normal. The Evo fixes everything. And it's not C60 like other people are selling carbon 60. Our lab has been making it 33 years. They do industrial grade. Yes, we sell that also for tires, photocells, batteries, ink. We would never give that to a person. So we created ESS 60, which is a cleaner form of carbon 60. It is pure carbon 60 fullerenes at the highest level of cleanliness, ESS 60, and that's what all of our products have. Not carbon 60, not C60, like the basement and garage companies are selling. And it's concerning to us because it's not known to be totally safe. And there's a lot of people selling questionable C60. We tested a few products. Chris actually said the guy's name because somebody asked us about somebody well known, how's his project? And Chris says, it doesn't have any C60 in it. It has nano onions, which is a carbon fullerene, but it's not anything you want to be taking. And the guy promotes heavily, heavily. But the guy that promotes C60 the most by far, they must spend every penny they make promoting and pretending to get numbers. But their products came in at 10% of what the label said. They rave about their avocado oil ours has zero point 0.6 milligrams per milliliters. They claim zero point 0.6 because our bottles say it, so their bottles say it, but they actually had 0.06, which is 1/10 of
That's
what they should
crazy.
have. Yeah.
So like for the audience, essentially like when you're gonna look up this product, right? You're gonna see other companies come up that look similar, and we're letting you know like you have to be aware of the studies and the research that go into like testing it and making sure it's safe for you. So that's what this company does that Patty's working with. So she's done like the research and she knows like the people in the field that have the machinery to be able to test it. So, and that's another reason why like I really support you guys because you're the real deal.
Thank you. I don't do the research. Chris and Robert do. My partners that own the lab do all the
But
research.
you research out the people,
Oh
like the
yeah.
right people to work with.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
And you've
that's
always done
fun.
that your whole career.
I have. And I've got really good intuition with people, but I blew it with uranium guy. I actually trusted him as a bodyguard, and he turned out to be a killer. So, I pray that people don't get products with uranium in it any day soon. I pray. But it's not going to be my
Mm.
problem. I sell ESS 60, which is a whole different thing. And my partners have been really insistent. At first, Chris said, I'm going to put a choke chain on you that every time you say C60, it's like the dog choke chain. I'm going to hit the little remote control from Texas and, you won't say it again. So then he said, okay, you got to put a quarter in the swear machine if you say C60. And I'm like, Chris, it's carbon 60. And he goes, industrial grade is what we sell for batteries and solar cells, photocells, and tires and ink. We don't sell C60 for people and pets. Now let's talk about pets. We sell ESS 60. We make a pet product, and the testimonials have been absolutely tearjerkers. Dog, cat. It's basically the number one formula. The olive oil plus the cat one has salmon essence, and the dog one has bacon essence. And a lot of people are telling us our dog now sits waiting until I put the drops on his food. He won't even eat the food until we put the bacon drops on. And we've had a few men say, I want bacon, so buy the dog formula. It's all natural, just a little bit of flavor in with the top selling olive oil. And the reason we do suggest the olive oil over the rest is it's the strongest, 0.8 milligrams per milliliters, but it's also the product that's been used in all the peer-reviewed tests. And in the Nobel Prize experiment that, received the Nobel Prize, we supplied the ESS 60. And the 2012 Paris Bhakti study, everybody that sells industrial grade C60 and whatever else they're claiming their C60s have, they didn't make the product that won the Paris Bhakti study. Our lab did. And that's why I'm partners with Chris and Robert. When I realized that this product saved my life, when I realized this product gave me 2 more years on hips that were bone on bone, because it is such a great lubricant, I was like, I don't want to work with anybody but the guys that started this. And there's actually no other lab in the world that's been at it as long as our research lab in Texas. And we are a patriot company. If people care, yes, they do. My partner sent me a toilet paper roll one day with my comp products. And I was like, what the heck's that? It's toilet paper with Brandon's face on it. And I was like, oh my God, my conservative partner. Like, what? Brandon,
Oh,
let's
that's
go
so
Brandon
funny.
toilet paper.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh
What a cute
God.
gift.
I mean, we have to be careful not talking about it or my she necklace, but I don't discriminate. I am not a racist. I don't think I'm better than anyone, but I'm here to make a difference in the world. And I want people to be wanting to make a difference in the world, because if we don't fix what's broken right now, we're going to have to flush this country and start over. I am relieved that I'm older, that I've had great chapters, 10 years riding a Harley all over and traveled to crop circles. I mean, I've done all these great things, but I look at my kids and my grandkids and I think, I'll be darned if I'm going to leave them in debt like is going on now. I'll be darned if they're going to pay 40, 50, 60% in taxes so that we can buy up rights in uranium in Russia because there's minerals under the ground, and it's not really about the people or the freedom or any of that. It's about the minerals and the control. It's like there is nothing to be proud of with what's going on in DC right now. The only thing is 24 years ago, I think probably now, I was touring with a woman who's still alive, Patricia Cotarobulis. She brings in light workers, they called us, from all over the world. And we met in Barcelona and we traveled for 2 weeks with heavy prayer. But she said something that stuck with me forever. I had no idea we'd be living in times this challenging. But she said, you watch, everything is going to come to the surface to be healed. And that's what we're in now. I don't think we're in the end times. I think we're in the end of crime times. And when I see my own life with, I can't even, like if there's a car wreck, who do you call? Because they don't care anymore. If there's thieves, they're allowed. It's like up to $900, they're allowed. What? Whew. So, my last Colorado story is that my friend is selling her house and she went to Remax because my the lady that sold me this house is so great. And I said, you got to use my friend. So she calls me and she goes, you won't believe what I learned today. They told me that the last 38 houses that sold in Colorado recently all sold because they were leaving the state. They were giving up. They all had attitude. Everybody that's selling is getting out of Dodge. And all the people that are coming in, they didn't realize because they might be voting poorly. But she actually said all the 38 buyers came from San Francisco, New York, and Chicago. So basically, all the low-life thinkers are coming into Colorado, and all the wise people that don't want to be poisoned by Monsanto are moving out. Now, I'm really tempted to sell because my taxes are, oh, what a joke. My property taxes, they said my house is worth what? Like, and then I questioned them and I was like, wait, anyway, it is such a scam here. We are being so overtaxed. And if it was going to roads, schools, rivers, bridges, that'd be great, but it's going to Monsanto. 228,000 went to Monsanto for Restore Colorado 22. I want people to look into this agenda and get rid of it. But mainly, I want Colorado to wake up and realize these two women can be voted out next month. They can be voted right out, and maybe we get people who won't poison us. But right now, they're planning to dump poison from drones and helicopters all along the Front Range because they can. There's no reason. Oh, it's some weed. But now we have goats eating those weeds. That was the solution 5 years ago, 4, 3, 2, and 1. It's the solution now. So the goats are out, and we're yelling louder, and I'm talking about it on your show, which has an audience of a whole lot of smart people. If anybody lives in Colorado and has the energy to get with officials and get them to wake up, we need to clean it up before we lose this state. But the smart people are leaving, and people from the cities that are destroyed are moving here because we're not destroyed yet. But this guy said that with the cartel running, potentially, I don't know if it's true, I can't say that it's true because I haven't been down to Cheyenne Mountain underground to see if it's really all Mex cartel. But he said, trust me. And he said, fentanyl in Colorado, right here, right now, nobody's safe.
I'm not surprised. Like, it adds up to everything that I've been researching that you say the cartels are running Cheyenne Mountain with our military. Because I did the video on this on my Patreon, but if you look up from Mexican news, this was like huge news the past month that the Mexican government is questioning why the cartels have U.S. military grade weapons. Like, they can't get that from, like, U.S. citizens can't even buy the weapons that the Mexican cartels have. So where are they getting it from? There's only one where that they can get it from, and that's the U.S. government. Yeah. Literally giving weapons to the Mexican cartels. And then think about the border situation right now. It just all makes sense why this is happening.
This is the worst political chapter in human history right now that we are all living through. And when we get to the other side of this silent war, this fifth dimensional secret war, we are going to find that this flu thing, these shots, have killed more people than any other war in history. Right now, we are in a population reduction like we've never seen, and people don't even get it yet. When you've got high school kids dying of myocarditis, when you've got all the great sports guys that were forced, all the pilots that were forced, all the military that were forced to get this thing in the arm, and now they're all suffering. I shouldn't say all, many are suffering. And we're going to lose an awful lot more people because of this crime spree. But we are in the worst war in human history right now. And the fact that my neighbors don't get it, luckily my family does. It's a lonely world out here when you know things.
It is. It is. But, it's your responsibility to try and just be as educated as we can to make informed decisions, and just we all just doing our best out here.
Yep. Well, let me tell you about the discounts for C60 Evo, because I do
Yes.
want your audience to be able to at least have a way to keep your immunity high.
Hmm.
This is a cold killer. It's the highest boost of immunity you're going to get from a product in a bottle. What do they say? It's 172 times more powerful than vitamin C. It was tested. And then another peer reviewed was only 125 times more powerful than vitamin C. So you take a spoonful of this in the morning and you're going to stay well compared to
And
everybody else.
that's a reason why I like to put it on my skin. So people that are like really into skincare or want to get like real good skin, estheticians, they recommend putting vitamin C on your face in the morning because it helps prevent UV damage from the sun on your skin. So if you put on these antioxidants or more powerful than antioxidants on your skin, it's going to protect your skin from the sun. So you're not going to get like sunspots and stuff. And yeah, that's why I don't know if people have noticed like my skin's cleared up a lot because I've been following those protocols pretty closely. Like I do try to protect my skin from the sun by using this.
Well, when I first came to you to see if you wanted to work with us, I was like, she's already young. She's already got perfect skin, hair. I mean, you already
People think
looked.
that I'm like I know people say I'm young, but I mean, I don't know. Is 31 young? I mean,
Yes, I'd
but I
love to
look
be
like I
31.
look like I'm 18 or 12 though. So, but I
12.
understand. People
Oh,
tell me I
no.
look like I'm 12.
Well, what I love is that you are healthier now than when I met you. What I love is that pretty much everybody we work with is healthier now than when I met them. We work with this wonderful guy who's got a channel, the Inspired channel. Do you know Jean Nolan?
Yeah.
Lovely man. He started the show the other day. He said, I'm starting and I have something I want to say. So we were like, okay. Chris and I are waiting for him. And he goes, I'm a manly man, but I use this all the time and I really love it. And he pulls up the facial serum.
Hmm.
This box is not opened yet. And I didn't bring my open bottle because it's empty. There it is. That's what's in here. And it's a beautiful presentation, slides out. My bottle is empty because I use that morning, noon, and night. It is so lovely. And the thing that we do that we sell the most is called the inside and out set. We do it with the 4-ounce bottle and that, or an 8-ounce bottle and that. But when you're taking it on the inside and putting it on your skin, you're going to get 2 to 3 times as much benefit. Chris doesn't really want to talk about the hair formula because, there's whatever, but we have a hair formula also that's got a 2-part, very much like our additional 2-part face serum. And the reason they're 2-part is because I won't let our lab use chemicals and
Mm.
emulsifiers. So we did it in 2 bottles because it's water and oil. You're using my favorite natural serum. Yeah, even um, I have it on my skin, my stitches that are like 5, 6 inches long. You can almost not see my stitches, and it's only been 3 months and 6 months. Like my doctor was stunned that I'm healing this fast. And it's
Yeah.
because of these products. So there's the facial serum, then there's the 2-part. And the reason for 2-part is this one has peptides. So you mix it in the palm of your hand, comes with instructions, and that's the 2 options for facial serum. But we're killing it in the facial serum department because people write back and say, first morning, what? Yeah, it really changes your skin quickly. And I think
Yeah.
it's the chia seeds and the ESS60. But the fact that we cleared a toenail that was broken for 60 years and it evened out all the way up to the top of your head, the hair formula is pretty remarkable, in my opinion. It took me 3 weeks after I got that flu thing, and I never got shots, but the flu thing, all of a sudden my hair was in the drain. 3 weeks later, I haven't lost any hair since. So, the face duo, the hair duo, the 3 flavors of oil, highly recommend. Facial serum, lip balm, highly recommend. Dog and cat products, people are sending us testimonials that just about made me cry. John B. Wells said, thank you for giving us another year with our dog. We thought we'd have to put him down. Somebody else said that also. Within like a month, two different people said my really large dog, 175 pounds, was we had to carry him out and carry him in to go to the bathroom, and we thought we were going to have to put him down. Thank you. He's fine now. He's chasing frisbees. It's like, wow. So old dogs, old people, medium dogs, medium people, everybody benefits. And this formula is like an intuitive miracle molecule that finds what's wrong with you and fixes it, I swear. And I'm able to talk like this because I'm not the scientist. I'm not a doctor. I'm somebody who they tried to kill a few times, and I am bolder and stronger than ever before because I take this product that is a super beast. I call C60 Evo a super beast product because it kills things that nothing else does. And the detox ability of the C60 Evo miracle molecule cleared the uranium, I think, out of my system almost all now. But now I'm dealing with the drugs that they stuck in my arm for the surgeries, and I'm detoxing. But it's like I don't even feel it now because my body is like an armored tank. I've taken the Evo now for 5 years every day, and I'm not worried about anything. I feel super strong, and I've amazed the doctors, and I've amazed the people that have known me for years. And I realize, oh my God, most of the people in my world now didn't know I was an award winning filmmaker, didn't know I got whacked twice. You know, everybody like just knows me as somebody who had the walking sticks and looked like she was in pain. Well, not anymore. So, Cat is back, and get myself some new toys so I can really enjoy life and make new friends that are patriot minded, that don't choose to lie, that don't choose to poison people. You know, there are a lot of great people, and you're one of them. I'm one of them. You know, we got to just attract to us what we really want rather than to sit here with all this fear mongering and be the effect of it. So, healing, healing, everybody. C60 Evo's the ticket. You can get 20% off if you sign up for a monthly subscription. We recommend everybody save 20%. It's well worth the price, no doubt about it, but you can save money. There's also a landing page, c60evo.com/wristflex. And if you go to her landing page, you'll see our store, and it says, you know, see all the items. I think on the store page, it just has the oils and the facial serums. You got to go to the store for more. But on Riss's page, you're going to see a secret code for a 10% off discount, no matter if you've gotten other discounts. We sell a lot of cases because we give people 25% off if you get a case, and you can split it with a friend, split it with the family members, but you'll save 25%, plus use Riss's code for another 10%. And probably by tomorrow, I'll see 2 or 3 dozens go out because we ship all over the world. And I am amazed at how this product is working for people in all different countries. We can ship everywhere but Brazil because they won't take olive oil because they sell it.
Oh, isn't that Greece?
And Greece. Greece
Greece.
and Brazil, for some reason, won't take olive oil. But all of our other products are fine. I hardly ever mention Amazon but we do sell on Amazon. So people that are scared of websites, you can find us there too. But we do want you to go to Riss's link and get that discount. All of our sets, which is like the inside and out or the inside out and lips, you'll save 15% off every item. And then at checkout, use the secret code for another 10. But you're going to save money, and you're going to save your life if you're dealing with anything serious. If you've got joint and muscle pain, trust me, I got years longer taking this product. I called myself an old Mercedes with really good oil. So yeah, get the top lubricant. And this is the biggest bottle you will find on the market, the size of my head, 32 ounces. So we go big, we go small, we do 4 ounce, 8 ounce, 16 and 32 ounce bottles of all the flavors. We do 2 ounce little teeny samplers in case quantities. So if you want to, get a dozen samplers and give them out to people like doctor's office, dentist, whatever. That's a great deal. And again, 25% off and use Rissa's code. I never watched the chat because I don't have my glasses on, but it's blowing up. The whole show, your audience is like, blah, 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 blah. I can't wait to read it later.
Because we don't got bots over here. We the real
Right?
deal.
Yeah, well, thank you. And I love working with you because I love your shows. You are balls to the walls like I am. You're less than half my age. But I think we have the same intention, which is to get out there and make a difference in the world because we got to save this planet. And we're definitely dealing with a lot of stupidity right now. And we got to clean it up.
Right. I feel so honored to have you on the show. I feel like we're a great team. You have such a great history of doing great research. You bring us
Thank you.
awesome products that work. It's like literally close to miraculous. And the fact that we got you on the show, thank you so much for giving us a discount code. I'm putting that in the description of the video and in the chat so people can easily click on it. I'm really curious to hear how people start to incorporate this and how they see it working in their life. It's always fun to see like what people have changed from using it.
Yep. Anybody gets a cold, I just say double up your Evo today. Kick it, kill it.
Yeah.
Because the immunity benefits are massive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Patty, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Hopefully we can have you on again sometime soon. Thank you for giving us that information about Colorado. I had no idea. I mean, like it sort of is just like a puzzle piece to like everything else that we've been talking about regarding the U.S. military and the Mexican cartels. And it's so stay strapped, y'all. That's all I can say.
Again, I didn't see it, so I can't prove that it's true, but this guy was really smart. And every time he comes and does any repairs, we end up going, all right, let's trade stories. Because we both do a tremendous amount of research, but his family is also very military. And they know what's going on. So it probably is true, but I wasn't there to see it. So I do always want to clarify. It appears as if it's true, but I don't go to military bases. I actually really avoid anything of the kind. I'm ready for a peaceful life. Bought myself a glamper. I'm going to hit the woods with my family and just listen to the river flow, as long as I've got Wi-Fi and I can run my Evo shows, I can go anywhere now, which is really fun. And I can walk. So back to the land of the living.
Hopefully so we're going to see you in a camper next time you come on the show.
I don't think you'll see me in it, but yeah, maybe. Actually, that would be kind of
You'll be
fun.
live streaming from the camper?
It could happen. Yep. If I've got a show on that day, I'll make sure I'm in the glamper having a lot of fun, encouraging people to not give up on travel because the pilots are all blah, blah, blah. Not to give up on trains because they've all been blah, 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 blah. Not to give up on electric cars because they're blowing up. I mean, it's like everything that we're being shown is being ruined. The chickens, let's kill all the chickens. The cows, let's kill all the cows. It's like, really? Oh no, bird flu. Eek, eek. It's like, what are you going to make next, you little dimwits? Like they're telling us what they just made in their lab and they're going to scare us with it next. It's like, go away. Go away.
Yeah.
So
something happened. There was a big awakening that just happened recently, and a lot of the tricks don't really work anymore.
No, when we can make magic ourselves simply, just like small little moves. Oh.
Why isn't mine working?
Oh, I don't know. Patty party in Colorado. Oh boy. I just learned this one works too.
Yours works good.
And I didn't sign up for anything. I didn't ask for this. It's just my computer likes to party.
Your computer does like to party.
Oh, yeah.
I don't do it that
much.
I
usually get balloons. Wait, how do I get... I get balloons to rise sometimes, but I did discover that when we talk about evil or uranium guy, we can make it rain.
Oh, snap.
Right?
I love it.
So, it is good to have a little woo-woo in your life, I keep it fun.
All right, Patty, thank you so much for coming on the show. Let's have you on
Thank
again sometime
you.
soon. All right.
Absolutely. Really appreciate you.
Links will be below, guys. Have a
Bye,
great
everybody.
evening.